In relational databases, it's important to carefully manage data relationships and prioritize accuracy to maintain the integrity of your database. For instance, consider how employees are associated with departments. In this case, managing data relationships means correctly linking employee records to valid department entries. In other words, each employee should be assigned to an existing department in a database. One of the most important tools for managing data relationships is the foreign key, a column or set of columns in a table that uniquely identifies a row in another table. Typically, a foreign key links to the primary key of another table. The role of foreign key constraints is to enforce referential integrity, an important aspect of database reliability. This ensures each value in the foreign key column correctly corresponds to a value in the referenced table's primary key column. In this case, the department ID column in an employee table matches the department ID in the referenced department table. This enforcement mechanism prevents the addition of data that doesn't have a corresponding reference, such as employee data that does not correspond to a valid department. It also acts to prevent the deletion of a department that still has employees linked to it, guarding against data inconsistencies that would arise from such an action. It's important to note that a foreign key constraint does not automatically make fields such as department mandatory, unless it is set as required. Let's take a closer look at how foreign key constraints operate within InterSystems IRIS. These constraints guide how data interacts across related tables, allowing it to be seamlessly integrated with both SQL and object data models. Imagine you attempt to delete a record from the employee table, which is linked by a foreign key to the department table. Department is the referenced table containing the primary key. The employee table includes the foreign key column that references the primary key in the department table. If deleting this record would leave related records without a corresponding link, effectively orphaning them, the foreign key constraint may block the deletion depending on its configuration. InterSystems IRIS allows you to define foreign key constraints through the management portal or directly within the SQL schema. Let's take a closer look at how this works. In the SQL Explorer, you can create a new table or alter an existing one to include foreign key constraints. In the table definition, specify the foreign key and link it to the primary key of the referenced table. Some of the options are Cascade, Set Null, Restrict, and No Action. The Cascade option is useful where the deletion of one record should automatically lead to the deletion of all associated records. A common use case is with orders and their related order lines in a retail system. When an order is deleted, Cascade ensures that all its corresponding order line items are also deleted, maintaining clean and consistent data without orphan records. On the other hand, the Restrict option is essential in scenarios where records are critically dependent on each other. For instance, in a corporate environment, Restrict would prevent the deletion of a department if there are still employees assigned to it. Set Null can be used in situations where links between records are not mandatory, but it's important to preserve the integrity of the remaining data. For instance, if an employee's HR business partner leaves the organization, that partner's ID can be set to null in the employee's records. This indicates that the employee is not currently assigned an HR business partner without affecting other critical employee data. Finally, no action is appropriate in rare cases where administrators do not want the database to make decisions automatically, and manual review procedures are in place. The flexibility of these actions allows you to tailor data integrity rules to fit specific application needs. It is considered best practice to carefully plan the database schema to verify the foreign key constraints logically support the application's use cases and performance requirements. To ensure data integrity, each insert or update involving a foreign key triggers a validation check against the referenced table. While this process is crucial, it can affect performance due to the additional validation required. In InterSystems IRIS, you can use the noCheck keyword when defining foreign keys, which allows these keys to be included as metadata only. This method bypasses active enforcement, reducing overhead, which is especially useful in environments where data integrity is assured by other means. Ultimately, foreign key constraints are crucial for enforcing the rules that maintain the integrity and reliability of database relationships. Managing these constraints thoughtfully within InterSystems IRIS helps maintain a stable, reliable, and consistent database environment.